All right, in this workout in this video, I'm doing it's leg day, so I'm doing Nordic curls rather and pause squats. Now, if you're familiar with Nordic curls are for the hamstrings, and you'll notice that what I'm doing is definitely a modified one. I just started doing Nordic curls here, like within the past maybe 2 months, and so my strength in my hamstrings for that move are is kind of low. So hamstrings, also for those of you who don't know, are in the back of your thighs, and they're kind of responsible for doing stuff like pushing your pelvis forward and like curling your calf up to your thigh. And so squats are very minimally activating the hamstrings. So even though I do squats, and that's why I wanted to do something, a body weight move that was more hamstring intensive to kind of balance out the thigh. Um, and then lunges, I also do lunges on leg day. I do those in the morning. I'll go to the 400-meter track and I do like 200 of them, like approximately 100 on each straight. I believe that lunges activate hamstrings a little bit more than squats. But still, as far as body weight moves, I've yet to find a body weight move that will that this intensely activate the hamstrings. Now you can also do what's called good mornings um, body weight, but it's not really that much of a stimulus. A good morning is basically you kind of like standing with your knees slightly bent, then you just kind of bend over at the waist. Okay, and so like you having to come back up and everything, and at the hip will kind of help to work that hamstring. But again, it's not that much of a stimulus or whatever. Whereas you're putting a lot of your body weight on your hamstrings in the Nordic curl. I'm happy to say that I'm about 3 days past 3 days from when I pulled my left hip flexor, and I'm doing my leg workout. And thankfully, the exercises I do don't really touch that touch the hip flexors like that, very minimally. If anything, the hip flexors, if I were doing maybe like a leg lift or something like that, that would probably be something I need to avoid. But I have not stopped exercising with my pulled muscle. Now I'm being wise. I'm not doing anything that's causing like extreme pain. I might feel an ache every now and then, but the reason why I'm doing that, like I'm purposefully walking on the leg and whatnot, just paying attention to the pain to make sure I'm not exacerbating it. But based on my experience from when I dislocated my shoulder, um, you know, some movement, as long as it's not making the injury worse, some movement is actually good to put blood flow in the muscle. Put blood flow in the muscle, because you got to think about it. When a muscle heals, it's because the blood has actually brought healing nutrients and factors and like immune system cells and all that kind of stuff to the site to repair it and to rebuild the fibers and all that kind of stuff. So like so it has to be true that at least to a degree, like minimal movement that'll help to stimulate general blood flow to the area, it has to help. So that's kind of like the premise. Um, Whenever I was doing rehab on my dislocated shoulder several years ago now, and also even now with me with this pulled muscle, I want to kind of like keep on moving it so I can get blood flow in there. I also years ago, I from doing lots and lots of pull-ups, I pulled these muscles like right under my arms, right here. I think it's like your teres minor, I want to say. And I pulled one on one side, and then next thing you know, I pulled one on the other side because I was doing so many reps, and I was even doing weighted chin ups at that time. But anyhow, my whole thing was I was trying to get back into the exercise, but I also wanted to stimulate. I couldn't do dips or pull. I mean, I couldn't do chin ups or pull ups regularly. But at that point, I had access to a dip machine with the little thing that you rest your knees on, and I was able to greatly displace some of my weight, so I could do very very chin ups, very light chin ups from the dip machine, and it let me kind of like continue to stimulate blood flow. And so I felt a little bit of discomfort, but it wasn't much. So I was just doing a lot of reps, a whole lot of reps to facilitate healing. Now, I wouldn't have even tried any of this like immediately after injury, but like, like now I'm about 3 days away past my injury. And so I think it's a good time to do this, and I don't feel any extreme pain. The pain has gone down significantly. And I know from past experience that increasing the blood flow in a safe way that doesn't cause a lot of pain is helpful. So hopefully that helps somebody out there, who is trying to think about how to recover from an injury. Make sure you consult your doctor, and if something is broken, don't try to exercise on it. That's a whole that's a whole different thing.